Hello everyone, so here's another lecture video on one of the subjects in English, specifically the subject Teaching and Assessment of Literature Studies. And I will be shortly tackling on the purposes of teaching literature. And of course, my name is Miss Vladimir Marie E. Kabutotan. Alright, so of course, on anything or with everything, we have a lot of advantages and disadvantages. And for this teaching of literature, we could see a lot of advantages, and that would focus on the different purposes. So why is it that we need to teach literature to the kids, especially nowadays? So let's have this one. Later on, we're going to really briefly discuss literary comprehension versus literary competence versus literary appreciation. Okay? And so if you will be a future English literature teacher, okay, make sure that you're encompassing these purposes so that you will be guided. Okay, so actually in every literary piece that we're going to discuss, you will be having this ones: literary comprehension, literary competence, and literary appreciation. So let's start with the first one. We have literary comprehension. So that is one of the purposes of teaching literature, okay, for us to understand the different literary pieces. Okay, and with this one, we identify the elements of a literary piece for further understanding. Just like, for example, if it's a story, then the elements would be the parts of a plot, the theme, okay, and then the mood, the atmosphere, and the others. So we need to know these specifics for us to further understand what the literary piece really is all about. Okay? So it's more on touching our cognitive aspect, so that we will broaden our knowledge about the literary piece. Next one is literary competence. Okay? This one is an analysis and evaluation of the literary work through its historical and cultural context. So this is the time that we go beyond the common details, such as just identifying the settings. Okay, so let's focus on that one, settings. If we're going to apply this literary competence, okay, we're going to dig deeper into why did the author choose that setting for his or her literary piece. What is it all about? What is this with this place? Then we will encounter historical context. And so with the people, with the characters, why is it that the author would like us to see his character like this? Okay, so this has a touch of cultural context, okay, and not on just the cultural aspect of the author, but the cultural aspect that is observed among the audience. Okay, so when it comes to literary competence, we dig deeper into these specifics, we analyze and we evaluate into why was these kinds of elements produced in a certain literary piece. Okay? So it's more on cognitive aspect again. Next is literary appreciation. Okay, so if for the first two purposes, they focus on improving our cognitive aspect because we are identifying the elements, we are analyzing why these elements exist on a certain literary piece. For this last purpose of teaching literature, literary appreciation, we're going to focus on the emotional aspect. So more on affective domain. Okay? Because for this one, it is encouraging readers to love literature by shaping one's cultural, social, and personal perspectives. So this is the time that we teach our students to love reading, to love discovering more characters, the ones that they don't see around them, and then of course explore more on the culture of the different people around the world, and get to be open-minded more, because their social and personal perspectives will be enhanced, will be broadened, and will be widened. And so it will really contribute a lot to their understanding of the world, to their understanding of the relationships and others. So those are the 3 purposes of teaching literature. We have literary comprehension, literary competence, and literary appreciation. That's it for my lecture video on the purposes of teaching literature. Thank you very much.